You decide to build a two-story house. No mortar, no nails, just thousands of gallons of industrial-strength cyanoacrylate. Every brick is bonded by a chemical bond stronger than the clay itself. This seems like a structural dream. In reality, it is a chemical nightmare. The construction is fast. Cyanoacrylate cures almost instantly when it touches moisture. Humidity in the air triggers the polymerization. Every joint locks in milliseconds. The house rises quickly. The structure feels invincible, but superglue is not a structural material. It is a rigid polymer. Unlike mortar, it does not compress. It does not breathe. The house is now a single, monolithic, brittle crystal of plastic. The problem begins with the chemistry. Cyanoacrylate polymerization is an exothermic reaction. It releases heat. With thousands of gallons of glue curing simultaneously, the house becomes a massive chemical heater. Thermal energy builds up inside the walls. The bricks heat up. The interior temperature climbs to levels that would make a sauna feel like a freezer. Moisture from the air continues to feed the reaction. Steam begins to form inside the porous brickwork. The glue is strong, but the heat is relentless. Thermal expansion kicks in. The bricks push against each other. Because the glue is too rigid to give, the internal pressure reaches critical levels. You realize you forgot the doors. The glue cured so fast that the frames are now permanently fused to the foundation. The house is now a seamless, airtight polymer tomb. You are trapped inside a very expensive, very hot brick. Glassy polymers are notorious for brittle failure. Superglue doesn't bend, it snaps. The house settles into the soil. Normal houses shift slightly. The mortar absorbs the stress. This house cannot shift. The molecular chains of the cyanoacrylate are locked tight. Tiny microscopic fissures form in the glue lines. These cracks don't grow slowly. They propagate at the speed of sound. A single crack in the foundation sends a shockwave through the entire structure. The rigidity becomes the enemy. The energy has nowhere to go. The house is no longer a building. It is a giant, unstable piece of ceramic glass waiting for a reason to shatter. Now consider the weather. Rain begins to fall. Water seeps into the microscopic cracks. Cyanoacrylate is waterproof once cured, but the interface between the glue and the brick is a different story. Capillary action pulls water deep into the structure. The water freezes during the first winter night. Ice expands with immense force. In a normal wall, this causes minor spalling. In a superglue house, the rigidity creates a hydraulic press effect. The expanding ice exerts thousands of pounds of pressure per square inch. The chemical bonds hold firm until they don't. Then they fail catastrophically. One brick pops out. The sudden release of tension triggers a chain reaction of structural failure. The collapse is not a slow crumble. It is an explosion of shards. The entire two-story structure undergoes a simultaneous brittle fracture. Millions of shards of hardened plastic and clay fly outward in a radial blast. The energy release mimics a low-yield demolition charge. The house doesn't fall over. It disintegrates into a million jagged pieces. The surrounding neighborhood is showered in super-sharp polymer needles. Every window within 50 feet shatters from the acoustic shock. The impact creates a cloud of fine brick dust and aerosolized glue particles. This dust settles on everything. It bonds to the grass. It bonds to the driveway. It bonds to the neighbor's golden retriever. The entire lot is now a permanent, jagged wasteland of fused minerals and plastic. The house is gone. You are miraculously alive, though covered in a fine layer of adhesive dust. The site is now an environmental hazard. The local government arrives to assess the damage. They find that the glue has bonded the house's remains to the actual tectonic plate of the Earth's crust. The debris cannot be moved. It is now a permanent geological feature. The city council meets to discuss the cleanup. They decide that removing the debris is too expensive. Instead, they simply rezone your property as a permanent hazardous waste monument. You are then fined $10,000 for failing to permit a permanent monument. Subscribe to the What If Club for more structural disasters. Next time, we see what happens if you build a bridge out of frozen mayonnaise.